Good morning, how you doing? So my trip today is going over to Brussels. So I got up bright and early, 5 o'clock in the morning. I was on the road for about 5:30, heading over to Folkstone to get the tunnel. So this is the holding area. It's a bit weird. You come off the M20 and they kind of filter you through the car park of the passenger terminal. But anyway, here I am. Going to be boarding shortly to get on the 7:54. Only takes half an hour to get into France, and then from there skirt through. I think I do 30 miles through the top of France and then into Brussels, and I'm meeting a mate of mine in Ghent for lunch, and from Ghent over to Brussels. I've got a day in the office tomorrow in Brussels, and then on the way back on Thursday doing the World War One battlefields and the memorials there. So you come off the M20 and you follow the signs for the Channel Tunnel, and you filter into something that looks like a toll road kind of payment booth. And what it has is it has touch screens, not unlike the ones at McDonald's, but not as good. So they're not particularly reactive, and you have to type in your booking reference number and answer 3 questions about your vehicle, you know, whether it takes petrol and that kind of thing. So then you skirt through and you probably follow about a mile and a half of roads in the actual Channel Tunnel facility. You go through French customs, and then you come up to this waiting area. And the way that they load the trains is by section on the train. So you know that boarding card that you just saw where it had F5 on it. So the train will be F and you'll be loading channel 5, and so you can see how these you can see how this waiting area is split into different kind of channels. And so what they can do is load multiple trains at the same time, and I would have thought in summer it's probably absolutely rocking. And the trains are big old things. They have got 24 carriages plus 4 loading and unloading carriages, and the loading and unloading carriages have got big doors so that you can get in and get out. And so what you do is you go from this section and then you climb up onto a big elevated bridge that goes over all of the platforms, and then what you do is you drop down onto the platform for the train that you're loading on. And there must be something like 8 platforms, so when this thing is really rocking, it must be just super busy and impressive to see. And the facility on the other side, on the French side, is very similar but kind of more automated, and you really need to be aware of what's going on these lights above, on these gantries above, because that directs you to the platform that you want to go to. I sped all this up because basically what you're doing is waiting for the ones in front of you to go. So as I said, the trains are really long. Both trains that I got on going out and coming back weren't full, so you end up riding through the train, which is a little bit weird. You effectively are riding along one side of the carriage. You'll see when I go in. So look how many platforms there are, and look how long that train is. And the train is double decked, okay, so that if you're in a car you can go up to the top and to the bottom. For the bikes, I think they just keep it on the bottom just for safety, and obviously in your coach or a truck then you're further down, and the bikes always come at the end. Okay, so you're always going to be the last to get on, and even if you're at the front of a queue, they'll pull you to the side and they'll hold you, and that's what happened to me on the way coming back. So then you go into the train. This is all fine. I would have thought if it was wet it might be a little bit exciting, because once you get in here you can see that actually it's all steel. So then it's this is really cool. You know, I thought that this was quite unusual. These are loose plates on the floor here, so it kind of rattles. I've turned all the sound out because you don't really need to see it. And obviously you can go upstairs on these, and there'll be cars upstairs. And then what they do is they get you to park across, so that your bike is effectively perpendicular to the direction of travel, and that's so that it's a little bit more stable. The train rocks a little bit as it's going along, but obviously they've done this before. I wondered whether my bike had fall over, but it didn't, you know, and neither did the alarm go off on it. So they know what they're doing. This is a rocket in front of me, a Triumph rocket. My mate Brian's got one of these, and so I've got a bit of a soft spot for these rockets. Not, you know, long, big bikes these are. So then you manoeuvring it, and then within 5-10 minutes the train pulled off, and you're only on the train for half an hour. There's nothing to do, there's no coffee machine, you're basically just sitting around just waiting to get to the other side. It's not as exciting or interesting as going on the ferry, but it kind of does the job. There's a place where you can go for a pee, you know, that's it basically. And then when you get on the other side, they open up the doors at the front. You drive through the train for what feels like half a mile, and then you rock out, and then it just filters you straight onto the motorway, and off you go. So this is what it looks like when you're all parked up. My big point here is make sure that you've got that boarding card number easy and ready to hand, because you need that when you come off the motorway. The first thing that asks for is, what is your boarding number? And you know, it's on your phone. The clever thing to do would be to put it on a piece of masking tape and just, you know, have it on your windscreen or on your bike, so that you can just tap it in on their crap touchscreen things. I thought they'd just use like a QR code, but they don't. It's a little bit out of date, to be honest. That's it. Travel safely. Any questions, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and tune in for part 2, which is where I go and do the battlefields. Cheers everyone, bye.